All right, so I'm sitting here with boxing trainer Dominic Ferreira. Welcome to the Hotbox gym. What brings you to Johannesburg?
So I've been speaking to Colin on Instagram and WhatsApp, and then I saw him in Cape Town, the last promotion, and then we were chatting, and then he offered me to come for a week to the gym, have a look, and luckily enough, Heki's still in his fight camp, so I've been with Heki watching him train. It's been amazing, really eye-opener, and then most of Colin Nathan's fighters are my heroes, the guys that I watch, so it was even a bonus,
I saw you yesterday on social media. You're catching pads for DJ Krill, IBF World Champion Sivanati Nonshinga. I mean, how does that feel?
It was amazing. Both those guys, I've been watching their careers, and just to be a couple of rounds holding pads for them, I can't explain it. It was the best feeling ever, hands down.
And for you back home in Cape Town, what's going on in the boxing scene there for you personally?
So I recently started 3 years ago my own gym. It's called Ferreira Boxing. I've been focusing a lot on commercial side, just training ordinary people how to box. And then I've just got an amateur that I've just been helping. He's had 11 fights. Still new, he's been only boxing for 11 months, so he's very new to boxing. And then I got another 16-year-old that just joined me. So I'm starting with the youngsters, building them up, and then hopefully get a pro and then take the program.
So how's the amateurs working out for you? Because you mentioned it's really new, and obviously it's the beginning. So are you looking to develop that particular athletes into something bigger, like a professional boxer?
Yeah, that's the goal. I wanted to focus on youngsters, 16 upwards, because I find this needs a development. I don't want to just get some guy that's had so many amateur fights and then I have to try and change him. I kind of want them to be my philosophy, my style, and then help them, nurture them in the boxing. So those two guys, ideally, I would like to push them into the pro ranks after they have a good amateur record,
And you've worked in the professional boxing space as well. Obviously, you were previously with Matt as an assistant trainer. Talk to us about that experience.
That experience is amazing. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity for Matt to allow me into his space. It was I learned a lot through him. I can't sit here and say I didn't learn, and now I'm on my own and we rivals. I have a lot of respect for Matt Leishim, Don, Madfit, the whole team. So there's no bad blood from my side leaving them. And it was amazing. I was in camp, I think, with Tian Flick when he was trying to challenge for the SA title. Aiden, I came to Golden Gloves with Aiden. A few of the amateurs that I've helped, so I learned a lot there, I really did.
Realistically, how long are you looking at before you're returning to that professional boxing scene?
Sorry, say that again?
I said, when are you looking to return back to professional boxing?
Look, I don't want to really rush it. I can acknowledge that I'm still a student of the game. I got a lot to learn, and hence why I was here with Colin, taking the opportunity to ask him the questions. He's one of the trainers / managers I've been looking up for years. And just for him, asking him a few things about the business side of boxing, the training of pros, it's completely different and new. And it's I'm excited for the journey. I know I got a lot to learn, and I'm excited to learn. And I know that to learn and achieve something, you got to get experience. And the only way to get experience is by doing it, So I'm excited for it, and I won't rush it. If a pro does approach me and say help them in the camp, I'm open to it. Really am.
And where was your entry into boxing? What was the spark, and what drove you towards the sport?
So it's quite funny. I grew up, I was a soccer guy. I wanted to be a professional soccer player. I was training at the Hotbox Top Box in Four Ways with Stephen Castle with one of the trainers called Shepard. I used to do it for fitness. And then I just watched the guys and I fell in love with it. And then I moved to Cape Town. And when I moved to Cape Town, boxing kind of found me. I started holding pads for people because I had a personal training course. And it just, from the day holding pads and training people, I just fell in love with the sport. And it's funny because I got to pinch myself every single day to realize that I'm actually a boxing coach, because it kind of just found me. I wasn't I want to be a boxing coach. It was something I always looked up, watching Colin and him, but I knew maybe you needed experience, maybe you needed fights to be a coach. But sometimes you don't, as a coach, don't need to have fights to be a coach. So I think that whole stigma, you need a couple of fights. I've had 2 white-collar / amateur fights, but it was never my thing. It was never me going to become a pro. It's you either got it or you don't. So, that's how it found me. Literally found me.
My take on it as well is however you're contributing to the sport is more value. So it doesn't mean you have to be a boxer. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Some of the best trainers actually were never actually got in the ring before. So it's an interesting perspective. Obviously, you can also see it through your clients and stuff. What excites you the most about the sport?
Oh, it's like from everyday people, like seeing how it's changed their life. I mean, I got a lot of youngsters that lack a bit of discipline at home. I mean, not that I want to be their fathers, but them coming to the gym and just teaching them basic values and ethics and dedication and being committed to training. That for me is like the best feeling. And then also like the amateur side. You know, I got a guy that he was digging boreholes. I've just employed him as a coach now. I'm building him up. So that empowerment within the gym is just an amazing feeling. And that's what I love about boxing.
Let's talk about your technique when it comes to catching pads. Where did you learn that technique from?
So I learned a lot with Matt. I mean, watching him, I've watched a lot of coaches, like on Instagram. I know some of the pad work is a bit flary, and I watch a lot of Colin stuff. So I'd say my pad work is a bit like sometimes flary, sometimes more specific. So very relaxed, and then game situation like as if I'm like fighting the person. But it just depends on what we're going to go into in terms of an amateur fight, or it just varies on the day. But mostly it's more realistic side, not flary and that's the Floyd Mayweather style.
You mentioned on social media yesterday as well. I think it was on the DJ Krill post that thanks for the tips. And could you share that? Or is it personal?
So no, I mean I can share. I'm happy to share. Like DJ Krill, when I was holding pads, there's certain angles that I was doing, and he just showed me. It's like, for example, on this side, I would always hold for the right hand, and he was like, do the left hook because the shoulder's there. And it's like those small little things mean a lot to me. It's like I don't try and carry an ego because I know I don't know everything. And those moments, that's where you learn and grow as a coach. And that's how I want to continue growing in the sport and continue to learn.
So you've got a little bit of time left in Johannesburg. How do you plan to spend that time?
So I'll still be, I think tomorrow's my last day with Colin, and then Saturday morning I leave. So I actually was talking to Hecky, and he's offered for me to come to watch one of his strength and conditioning sessions in the morning. So I'm super excited about that. So like also, I mean, massive fan of Hecky. Like the nicest person I've ever met. I've watched all his training sessions. I can ask a million questions. He's always answering. Same with Colin. So I mean, I wish I could stay longer. I mean, but obviously I have to go back home and sort out my business. But yeah, it's been an amazing feeling, like amazing experience, everything all around. Like I was telling my wife last night, and I was like, not to offend her, but this week has been the best week of my life, hands down. Yeah.
So I'm guessing you've just been like a sponge accumulating knowledge, and obviously you're going to take it back home and give everyone else a much improved version of yourself in terms of the boxing stuff.
No, 100%. I've literally, when I was flying, I flew on Sunday morning. I literally said to myself, I'm going to be a sponge. I'm going to ask questions. I even said to Colin, listen, if it's a dumb question, he says, Dom, it's never a dumb question if you don't know. And that made me even more comfortable. So I literally a sponge. Like from morning till in the afternoon, I literally just ask questions, speak to the fighters. And they're all amazing. Yeah. There's no egos. They're all willing to help. And that's what I like. That's what I want. And I feel like boxing needs that. I think we all need to work together because that's how it's going to grow the sport.
I heard were you here on Tuesday?
Yeah, so I've been here since Monday. Yeah.
So, I mean, apparently the gym was pumping on Tuesday. I mean, that would have been a new experience for you in terms of professionals on that level?
No, it was insane. I think there were like over 20 fighters there. They were sparring like so many rounds. And I just like find like, yeah, in the gym.
Load shedding. Sorry for the load shedding, ladies and gentlemen. Continue.
No, awesome. So the sparring has been amazing. Like there were a lot of guys, a lot of competition, different guys, small guys, big guys. So that was a good experience to watch. And I mean, like there's so many world champions in the gym. Watching them spar and do their thing, it's amazing. Yeah.
Obviously, sorry, I just had to make a quick camera adjustment right there. From Hecky Butler himself, what have you learned in particular? Because for me, he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. In fact, locally, my favorite fighter of all time. What have you learned from him?
What I learned from him is like he's very relaxed in camp, you know, down to earth. He's got like pretty much, he handles the training and he's like lets everything else like Colin manage and the thing. And in terms of like I learned a lot about how his weight cuts, how he trains his conditioning, just small little things and tips. Like I don't want to maybe share them because maybe it's like, but like it's amazing. Like just certain things that he does, like you would think different, and how he does it, it's just the basics very well, I think. And I mean, he's my favorite fighter in Cape Town. I mean, sorry, South Africa, hands down.
Well, we share that in common. if people want to go join your gym or train at your gym, how do they do that?
So I have an Instagram, so it's _Ferreira_boxing_gym, and then I also got a personal page where it's _Dominic_boxing coach_, and they can just contact me, or they can just Google Ferreira Boxing and pick up on my website.
Fantastic. So those people at home that want to obviously start up boxing, and especially from a client point of view as well, just get fit and get ready for summer, make sure that you contact Dom, and he's you'll be there for that call.
Awesome, thank you. And I also want to say thank you to you. Like, I watch pretty much all the interviews, and what you do for boxing, that's amazing. And I keep up the good work and all the interviews and the behind the scenes, and it's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing and promoting boxing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's all the best.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.